You're the God of the new thing. Here we're waiting for you now.
Hi everyone, it's day 5 of our devotional series, which means we're in chapter 5 of John's Gospel. A lot has happened so far. Jesus has caused a real stir in just 4 chapters, and people are already falling into 2 camps. Those who really love him, who accept his teaching and believe him, and those who really hate him and want him gone. So how come people are falling into 2 such opposite opinions about Jesus? Well, it's to do with the state of your heart, which we will see from today's passage. So check your heart and be ready for Jesus. This chapter falls into 2 main bits of action. The first, Jesus healing a crippled man at a pool called Bethsaida or Bethesda, depending on the translation you're reading. And then Jesus's testimony to the Jewish leaders after they accuse him of working on the Sabbath day. So in the first part, Jesus meets a man who's been waiting by this pool, which heals people who were able to get into the water. The man's been ill for 38 years and is been waiting for an opportunity to get into the water for healing. So Jesus doesn't have a very long conversation with him. He just simply asks, "Do you want to get well?" Which seems like a pretty obvious question after 38 years of being ill. And yet the man doesn't really have a direct reply for Jesus. He just sort of makes up an excuse that he hasn't had anybody to help him into the water after all these years. And something about his actions after being healed, where he's just wandering around aimlessly, seems to suggest that he wasn't ready for the change that Jesus would bring about in his life. So why would that be? This man had been ill for so long, his whole identity was wrapped up in being an invalid who waited by this pool with no one to help him, probably making a living from begging from people that went past. And once all that had changed, he didn't really know who he was. And this might be the same for us. Maybe we want to be healed from things that are holding us back. We want to be set free from physical or emotional or spiritual afflictions. And we want Jesus' help, but we're scared of the change that he can make in our lives. We might be comfortable as we are and making excuses for going back to our old ways. But we need to be ready to change our hearts and accept Jesus and the healing that he brings. So the second part of the story is that once Jesus has performed this miracle on a Sabbath day, the Pharisees want to hear why he's acting the way that he is. And he says, "I am working because I see my Father working," clearly stating that he is God's son. Now, if the Pharisees didn't hate him before, they really, really do now. You cannot claim to be the Son of God and expect to live if this is not the case. But we see the whole way through John's Gospel, through his words and through his actions, that Jesus is the Son of God. And being the leading experts in the Jewish scriptures, the Pharisees should have seen this. And yet, time and time again, they miss out on seeing who Jesus really is and accepting him in their lives. They are more caught up in the rules and believing that they will bring them life than they are in listening to the message of Jesus that would really save them. Through John's Gospel, we are left with 2 choices. We can either accept that Jesus is who he says he is, the Son of God, or we can choose to reject him and go our own way. Don't be like the Pharisees and miss out on accepting Jesus.
It's a new thing.